So, I spent a lot of time thinking about dance film, and most of the time I think about it in the context of Singapore, where I'm from. I think Singapore has such a unique arts landscape given that it's a tiny island city-state in Southeast Asia, which is quite diverse in culture. And yet, perhaps because of its historical colonial roots as a trading port, we find that many art forms and Singaporean artists, while acknowledging old traditions, have taken a much more modern take on westernizing their art. I personally found a little bit of a disparity with this because sometimes when we watch dance film in Singapore, we see like a Chinese temple in the background, but then the people in front are doing like street dance, which is completely different and doesn't really correlate to the space. And I think that this is such a curious thing within Singapore, right? That Singapore itself is such a unique environment that embraces both urban and natural landscapes. Given that we're so small and so tiny, in any direction that you look at, you're literally looking at the urban and then like some forest, and then we're gonna have like the sea. I think that can be one of the most fun parts about making dance film in Singapore. We are kind of constrained by the box that is our tiny island, and as a result, we see a lot of different artists trying to break out of that mode. We are constantly looking for new places to shoot, or we're looking for new locations to shoot. In a topic such as Screendance, where we often talk about the idea of choreography of the location. Singaporeans are constantly on the grind of like looking for new locations or looking for new inspirations from different locations. And I think working in dance film for the past 4 or 5 years, I've seen so many repeats of the same trends, right? I can name it for you right now. Like there's literally car park rooftop, beach in a nondescript location, forest, nondescript forest, and then if all else fails, nondescript black box. So what am I getting at here? Apart from thinking about the state of Screendance as a whole, I think a lot about how dance film can be improved in Singapore. And don't you think it's just such a shame that we are constantly using the same places but just shooting at different angles? I think that that's one of the trends that we have, in my opinion, that blended most of the dance films that I've seen coming out of Singapore together. I've personally held a long-standing grudge for the kind of dance film that relies solely on gimbal movement, going in and out, left and right, cutting in and out, getting your coverage, with no relation to the choreography or the piece whatsoever. And that's fine when one is trying to simply take a video of a choreographed dance, but where's the nuance, right? What makes this piece of work a dance film rather than a depiction of a dance? I think ultimately it's important for Singaporean artists looking to make Screendance work to recognize these trends and identify ways in which we can recreate work within our limited spaces and resources, such that we are able to kind of come to a conclusion on the state of Screendance in Singapore and how we may improve on the making of our work. First, let's talk about the topic I mentioned earlier, location. I think not enough choreographers looking to make dance film work think about location enough. Not that they don't think about location, I think they don't think about it enough. I think that there's awareness of the trend of using the same types of locations for dance film, and that directors of dance film work have a kind of a hyper-obsession of finding a new place or finding a place that looks cool, that looks different. And I think that while that is a good perspective, always look for new locations, always look for something new, something fresh, right? Something that inspires you. Perhaps we can shift this mentality a little. Let's begin thinking about how we can use a particular location to aid our choreography, or how we can frame a particular location such that it changes the context or the way that we move. One of my favorite scenes in the film Re by Leonard E and Tan Yi Heng perfectly shows this by jumping through a hole. It creates another layer of dimension to the choreography. My own work, lighting Ryan Lim's Don't Leave Me, was also informed by this thinking. How do I light an ordinary location such that it highlights this paranoia experience that this character is going through? Here, we then think about elements of storytelling and mise-en-scène. And in this direction of thinking, we are able to create a dance that is contextualized by its environment. How does your dance change from location to location? Our dance isn't just a dance, it's also informed by the context that it's staged in. If not, why not let's just return to the liminal space that is the nondescript black box. Second, I think that there hasn't been enough platforms that have encouraged artists to make work that's not simply just a choreography. Sincerely, I feel part of the problem too is the fact that there isn't enough experimentation in this field, and Singapore itself isn't exposed enough to the outside world of screen dance. So much of our understanding of dance on film comes from the YouTube age of concept videos. I think Lion City Dance Film Festival, Singapore's first screen dance festival, which started in 2022 just last year, has taken the right steps towards creating this platform that can encourage artistic expression beyond just choreography. I think as time passes and as more work is being made, there will be more room to grow and explore different modes of making dance on screen. I was once asked hypothetically what I would do if I were the head of the Arts Council in Singapore and I wanted to improve dance film, and why I would do it. If it were up to me, I would have two goals in mind: a preservation of cultural heritage, including traditional dance, and being able to capture cultural locations in Singapore and have that contextualized using dance, and to enable dancers to use this medium as a source of income through being able to choreograph for, i.e. commercial productions. Both of these can't happen without an already established community of dance filmmakers that are actively exploring the medium. To do this, I would love to explore looking to be able to fund more exhibits for dance-based video work, as well as schemes for collaborative work for dancers and film production houses. As we have seen post-pandemic times, the state of dance is transforming, and the way that we consume and create art is different as well. It's a sign of times should Singapore still wish to position itself as an international arts hub to begin an in-depth and focused exploration in the distribution and the making of their craft. And given the talent we currently see in Singapore, I sincerely believe that the seeds for the longevity of dance through the medium of screen dance is just beginning to sprout.